Avanindranath was labelled in its time as Swadeshi, but it contained aesthetics, spirituality and Indianness and kept distance from politics. Tagore residence at Jurashako had become the center of the new art movement, where gathered Avanindranath students, Japanese artist Okakura, Taiken and Ishida, European art critics Confucius and dealers of Indian art, and Nivedita, the most influential champion of this art movement. Once Nandalal Bose said, Hamel, Avanindranath, Okakura, Sri Jagadish Bose, etc. all used to discuss about art with Sister Nivedita. All of them were inspired by the ideal of sisterhood. Nivedita was acting as the main mediator and promoter of Okakura's Pan-Asian aesthetics, trying to harness it to the cause of nationalism and an artistic revival in India. It was she who introduced him to the Tagore brothers, paving the way towards the close personal and artistic links that would be forged in Japan by Avanindranath Tagore's new school of Indian painting. It was Nivedita who immediately mobilized Okakura's polemics in Indian situation. Sister Nivedita took a deep interest in the work of younger group of artists and encouraged them much. She got their paintings printed in magazines and wrote critical notes on them. Among the young artists of the Calcutta school, Nandalal Bose, Surendranath Ganguly, Ashit Kumar Haldar and others came under the direct influence of Sister Nivedita. She took a deep interest in their work and extended all possible help to them. They all acknowledged their indebtedness to her for her inspiration, encouragement and help. It was reported that one of the early works of Nandalal Bose before he joined art school formerly was a copy of Ravi Verma's Mahashita. Later he obtained the print of Avanindranath's Ekha and Shujata and thus began a linking to Oriental sensibility in art and aesthetics training under Nivedita that remained firmly ingrained in him all his life. It was through her efforts that both Nandalal Bose and Ajit Kumar Haldar were sent to accompany Lady Herringham to Ajanta to study and copy the paintings of the Ajanta caves. At that time, without consulting them, she fixed the day of departure, handed them two railway tickets and funds for the journey. That was her way of giving directions, and it was impossible to disobey her. Later, she herself reached Ajanta to inspire them. At that time, Ajanta was very difficult to access. It is interesting to note the way she guided him when Nandalal showed his new paintings of Jagai Madhai and of Chaitanya's time to Nivedita. She was very pleased. Appreciating, she asked him, "How did you get their facial expression?" He answered, "I drew the faces by meditating on Girish Babu." Hearing it, she laughed and said after a pause, "Draw a picture after meditation. This is the principle of Indian drawing." In her review of Jagai Madhai, she has written, "In pure line drawing, with scarcely the aid of a touch or a wash of color, it is another of the great technical triumphs of the artist and the school." Another of his paintings showing Dasharath lying in affliction after the departure of Rama to the forest, with Kaushalya sitting near his feet holding a common palm leaf in her hand, pleased Nivedita immensely. But she remarked, "Kaushalya is the queen of a king. Her valuable ivory fan only fits in her hand. Was not a fan made of palm leaf? Not a fan made of palm leaf. Go and see such handiwork in museum. but the picture has a got lovely and peaceful atmosphere. It reminds me of the room of the Holy Mother, hence it pleases me much. Unquote. Later she wrote in a review, quote, the simple pathos of this picture will be best appreciated by those who have seen the original. Modern Indian art, at once genuinely Indian and genuinely modern, is born at last. Later, it was Nandulal who brought along the modern movement in the art of Bengal and of India as a whole to a large extent. This is result of Nivedita's inspiration. In Nivedita's heartfelt comment, we learn what mattered to her in art. The highest art is always charged with spiritual intensity. With an intellectual and emotional revelation, it requires the deepest and finest kind of education. The man who has not entered into the whole culture of his epoch can hardly create a supreme expression of that culture. Even more than Hegel, she made practical suggestions for creating a national art which moved Avanindranath and his pupils. She spoke on two technical aspects in particular. Light was an important in painting as color contrast. I have seen, she wrote, quote, many oil paintings of dull, unlighted tanks lined with thatched hearths, the whole overshadowed by heavy forbidding trees painted in blue-green. Now these depressing renderings of depressing scenes, a single luminous torch would have changed the whole as by the stroke of miracle. Her second lesson was the power of suggestion, which idea Avanindranath probably owed to her. Nivedita exhorted students to seek out pictures scenes of paint, the beggars, the boatman of Ganges, the bashful young Bengali bride, without which mere technical excellence of which you learn to in English school are born without flesh. They are worse than valueless. Nivedita influenced Nandalal so strongly about which he has said, quote, the thought of the progress of Indian artists always dwelt in her mind. I can never say enough about the encouragement I received from her mind. When she died, I was like being deprived of the presence of a guiding angel. Nivedita has emerged as prominent critic, champion of Indian art. And powerful writer. She wrote in her book, Aggressive Hinduism, art must be reborn, and there is no voice like that of art to reach people. The art will reborn. And for she has found a new subject, India Hustle. She attended the art exhibition organized by this artist and wrote reports on them in the leading newspaper. Indeed, for the revival of Indian art, Sister Nivedita strived so much that it would not be an exaggeration to say that her name will ever shine in the history of the revival of the ancient Indian art of Ajanta and the Rajput, the Mughal styles, and further a birth of Bengal School of Art. Later, she got the paintings of the young group reprinted in the Modern Review and wrote critical notes on them. Mr. Ramananda Chatterjee translated her notes into Bengali and had them printed in Bengali magazine Pravashi. In all her writings on art, her reviews of books and paintings, her appreciation of individual painters, she brought out an informed and discerning eyes, a strong idealism, and an urgent sense of the relation between the revival of Indian art and the spirit of nationalism. A few lines have been taken from some of the paintings of which she wrote an art appreciation. I will now read them. Avanindranath Tagore's Bharat Mata. An abstract idea of nationality has been given form and clothes with flesh and painted. It proves the beginning of a new age in Indian art. Shah Jahan dreaming of the Taj, its beauty will appeal to all. The drawing is full of strength. The passing of Shah Jahan, truly a royal passing. This was Shah Jahan. Truly a royal passing. Nandalal Bose, Shati, in this perfect fearlessness, this absence of any self-consciousness, what a witness we find to the Indian conception to the glory of women. The dance of Shiva. In the world, there is but one India, and even in India, only one Shiva. The dance of Shiva is Samadhi, become dynamic. It is Samadhi represented by physical activity. Ahalla. To produce such an impression is a great triumph for an artist of any age and experience. Ashit Kumar Haldas, Beena, Shukhalata Rao Smith, Srimoti, Shamarendranath Gupta, Saudabhendu, etc. also wrote by Sister Nivedita. Mr. O.C. Ganguly's review on myths of Hindus and Buddhists mentions, in presenting to European readers the true values of human life, ideals and cultures, the services of the late sister was invaluable. As aid in understanding and interpreting the soul of India, her works outdid all the Bhatan and Armenia's Mabri attempted to do for Persia and Arabia, or the Lafakas did for Japan. Indeed, Nivedita became not merely an interpreter of India to Europe, but even more the inspiration of a new race of Indian students, no longer anxious to be anglicized, but convinced that all real progress, as distinct from mere political controversy, must be based on national ideals, upon intentions already clearly expressed in religion and art. It will be difficult to name any modern activity in Bengal, be in the field of literature, art, research in ancient history or archaeology, that has not been influenced to some extent by the writings of Nivedita. Unquote. Western art, Nivedita analyzed, offered to main attraction for Indians the temptation of realism and idea of individualism. To draw attention back to their own heritage, she emphasized, firstly, the prevalence of conventions of a superior realism in the Indian tradition, as in the Ajanta paintings, where the artist brilliantly integrated two different faculties. One, to know the human form, and to recognize the expression of overwhelming emotion, especially in worship. Secondly, she affirmed the value of a collective identity of race, culture, and inherited tradition in any great art, arguing that such a collective identity did not in any way exclude individualism or freedom of imagination. If the new India is looked forward to a new guild of painters drawn not from any single caste, but from the nation as a whole. In order to demonstrate the true ideals of Western art, she got reprints of good paintings, mostly religious ones such as J.F. Millet's Angelus and Puvi the Seventh Saint Genevieve watching over the Paris. Got them printed in Modern Review with critical notes. About Puvi's the Seventh Saint Genevieve watching over the Paris, she wrote, Saint Genevieve is the patron saint of Paris, and here she is represented as the prey over the city, city while it sleeps. It is perhaps the finest expression of civic spirit in modern art. Commenting on J.F. Millet Angelus, this picture has a special message for the modern Indian artist. It is fact, reproduces not as by the photograph, but as by the poet, the shears. It is fact, reproduces not as by the photograph, but as by the poet, the shear. Madonna by Raphael, Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci were reviewed by her for Indian journalists. Thus she made Indian familiars with great Western artists like Michelangelo, Millet, Rossetti. This shows her eagerness to enrich their ideas. Reverse the ideas of Aurobindo and Ramananda Chattopadhyay. Aurobindo and Ramananda Chattopadhyay were completely influenced by Western thought of art. They liked Ravi Verma's fine paintings, Western pictures, and criticized Indian paintings, but several discussions with Nivedita opened their eyes and they could appreciate the Indian perception of art. Eventually, they became ardent supporters of Indian art, especially Ramananda Chattopadhyay started spreading the national ideals depicted in art through his magazine Modern Review, which tremendously helped the movement of Bengal School of Art in the midst of all odds. Aurobindo became forceful proponent of the transcendental and described in the Prabhashi 1916 that the artist is a rishi and art is an inner revelation through sight. She became famed philosopher and guide of Indian art. From Ashit Haldar, we came to know that Nivedita forbade Ashit Haldar and Nandalal Bose to join politics and told them that the revival of national art would be their great contribution in the movement of national awakening and freedom. Ashit Haldar said once that was the quote, that was the period of the renaissance of ancient Indian art. Nivedita was happy at this national awakening. She told us that on us depended the revival of ancient art, which was rapidly approaching extinction. He urged us to try our best. As long as she lived, she visited our exhibition at the Oriental Art Society and encouraged the artist. Unquote. The last of such exhibition which Nivedita attended was held in February 1910, a year before her early demise in 1911 at the age of 44 years. The painting of Mr. Surendranath Ganguly, Mr. Nandalal Bose, Mr. Venkatappa, Mr. Ashit Haldar, Mr. O.C. Ganguly, Mr. Ishwari Prasad were exhibited towards with the pictures of Mr. Ravanendranath Tagore and Mr. Gaganendranath Tagore.